What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. I just I wasn't planning on making this video, but LeBron's comments today about Alex Caruso, I just was like, okay, fuck it now. You know what I'm saying? Like last night, it did bother me, like a lot of other people, that once again, in a situation where he's supposed to be the MVP, he's supposed to be the guy taking charge of the game down the stretch. Let me say this. For the first 45, 46 minutes of a game, statistically, you're not going to find a better player than LeBron James in the history of the NBA. And let me say this too. When it comes to his resume, when it comes to his longevity, when it comes to his accomplishments, at the end of the day, he does have a strong case for GOAT. And anybody that doesn't at least acknowledge that is a certified hater. Just being honest. But this has to be stated, man. In the last 2 minutes of games, especially over the last several years, in close contests, not talking about when his team is up by 15 or 20 points, he's front running. Whenever there's a situation where there's a chance he can fail, he always defers to a lesser teammate. We saw it last year in Danny Green, with Danny Green when he passed it to Danny Green. Now that was, I guess, a smart basketball play, I guess. But when you're LeBron James and you were going the way you were going in that game, you got to take that shot, okay? You were rolling in that game. Now, I don't know what it is with him in these situations over the last several years because the first 7 years of his career when he was playing in Cleveland, the first time, 2003 to 2010, he would take these shots. He missed some, but he would make a lot. This is the same LeBron James that made that game winner against Orlando in the playoffs, that deep three. So he used to do it, but I don't. Something's gotten into his head. I don't know whether it's the failed expectations of making it to the finals against Kobe, which never materialized, the constant failure against the Boston Big Three, the atrocious performance he had in 2011 in the playoffs. Um, I don't know what it is. Maybe the constant criticism that he doesn't really have a jumper and he doesn't want to feed into that. I don't know what it is, but he doesn't take that damn shot. So what we got to do here is this. Go conversation, I guess that can continue. But stop comparing him to Kobe and Mike. Stop it. Stop it. Okay? Because he's not built like that. Kobe, I remember a game against the Nuggets. Kobe was, if I'm not mistaken, at one point in that game, 3 for 21. He was having one of the worst shooting games of his career. Okay? But he finished 6 of 24, made his last three shots, including the game winner. Michael Jordan, I remember in a playoff game against the Miami Heat back in 1997, I think it was game 4 of that series. He started the game 0 of 14, one of the worst starts of his career. He only finished shooting 9 of 35, but he scored 20 points in the fourth quarter and almost won that game single-handedly for the Bulls in the fourth quarter. Excuse me. It didn't matter if they missed 10 in a row. Their mentality was, I'm going to make my next 10 shots. LeBron doesn't have that type of confidence. And people always talk about he's going for the right basketball player. He's going for the right basketball player. Look, man, I remember watching footage of Larry Bird shooting a 30-foot bomb to beat the Dallas Mavericks in '86. And we're talking about the '80s when you didn't shoot like that back then. But he's Larry fucking Bird. He could do that. I've seen Kobe Bryant shoot a falling out of bounds fadeaway behind the backboard three-pointer against two defenders against Portland in March of 2007 and make it. And you don't look at that as a bad shot. Why? Because he's Kobe Bryant. I've seen Michael Jordan shoot a turnaround fadeaway with half a second remaining on the clock to tie the game against two defenders, hand in his face. And it's not a bad shot. And when he does it, because he's Michael fucking Jordan. You're LeBron James. Stop deferring to the Alex Carusos. Stop deferring to the fucking Danny Greens. Stop deferring to the goddamn James Jones. Stop deferring to these dudes. But what really gets me is when he throws these guys under the bus. Well, what only criticism I got is that he should have long two instead of a three. I mean, at least, make it worth the shit. Man, why didn't you take it then? Why didn't you take it, LeBron? If you're going to critique someone else, why didn't you take the goddamn shot if that's what the team needed? You're the superstar, okay? You're the superstar. And that's what gets me about the media. Whenever things are going great for the Lakers, they give him all of the praise. But other players, when things aren't going right, they get all the criticism. Now, look, I understand some people like, look, that's how it works. Not to this extent. Not to this extent. And yes, I do remember stars being criticized when I was growing up. Even Jordan, even Jordan would get criticized for shot selection, shot jacking, bad shooting nights, turnovers, which, by the way, LeBron James, even though the media didn't tell you, surpassed Karl Malone recently as the all-time turnover king, even though he's not the all-time assist king. All right? But anyway, you got to think that in these situations, man, he has to be more aggressive, okay? And you can't lose a game, like I said in another video. The Lakers can't lose to Miami. I don't know who they play next, but they need supposed MVP LeBron to step up. Okay, they need him to step up and take over. Or if he's not capable of doing that, then the media has to stop blowing smoke up our ass and acting like that he's still a guy in his prime when in reality there are certain things playing with AD, you know, having other guys around him, still letting him be able to be ball dominant is sort of masking his deterioration. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I got to say, man. Tell me what you guys think. And look, there's always going to be somebody in the comment section that's going to say some shit like, people just can't stop hating on LeBron. People just can't stop, hating on LeBron James. Da, 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 da. Nothing I said was hating on him. Since when is expecting greatness from a great player hating? So I'm supposed to just lower the bar. Like, it makes no sense. Some of these dudes is ridiculous, man. If I grew up watching GOATs perform, okay, at the highest level, then that's what I expect. Especially if you're telling me that this one is greater than the other one. And it's nothing. Michael and Kobe were actually criticized for the opposite. They were criticized for not trusting their teammates enough and not passing the ball enough in crunch time situations. We all remember the stories about Michael Jordan making fun of Bill Cartwright, calling him Medical Bill, saying he feels more confident shooting over a double and triple team than passing it to an open Cartwright that he'll make the shot. And Phil Jackson had to instill this guy and get in his face. You got to start passing the ball to other people. He got into Michael Jordan's face in Game 5 of the 91 Finals. Who's open? Who's open, Michael? Paxson. Get him the fucking ball. That's why Michael kept passing the stock to Paxson, and Paxson went 8 for 8 in that game. That is still in them. I know you're confident in your abilities, but you gotta get other people involved, and that's when Michael Jordan became a better player because he started playing more off the ball and got his teammates involved. Kobe Bryant, the same thing. Kobe could be ball dominant and put up those types of numbers. I've seen games where he's a playmaker, and I've seen Kobe get 25 points, 10 rebounds, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 assists. He could do that, but Kobe was a primary scorer. Kobe had the same problem where um, he didn't defer to his teammates, especially post Shaq. But he had to build that rapport and that trust with his teammates. So the thing to me is, it just is apparent to me that LeBron is just not confident in his jump shot in crunch time, and that's what it is. So you can try to put it any other way, shape, or form, but I just think that he's not confident in his jump shot in crunch situations, which is crazy because a guy like Antoine Walker, who only shot like 39% for his career, would never turn down an opportunity to shoot a shot like that. 39% from the floor, 32% from three, but he felt like he was going to make every shot he took. And that's the supreme confidence that a scorer has to have. John Starks went 2 for 18 in Game 7 of the 1994 NBA Finals, 0 for 11 from three, but you can't be afraid of that. And he probably do the same thing if he did over it. So that's all I got to say, man. You know what I'm saying? Tell me what you guys